Hello everybody, I'm Kat, and I have an original tag video for you guys today. So Sophie over at All Things Equilateral and I quickly came up with this tag a couple of weeks ago. It's summer themed and June is tomorrow, and that means summer's starting soon. You know, summer vacation has started for some people, not me. I figure why not do this tag, you know, because it's summer. So this is the Quintessential Summer Book Tag, and it has all of your essential summer needs in it. The questions to the tag will be left down below if you want to do this tag. There are 10 questions to this tag, and all of them are summer themed, as I mentioned before. The first item on the list is an iced drink, a refreshing book. So with this one, I went with Paper Girls by Brian K. Vaughan. Not only is the format pretty refreshing, because if you've been on my channel long enough, you know I don't really read graphic novels. Nothing against them, I just don't really pick them up. But I heard people talking about this specific one. They were comparing it to Stranger Things, which is like my favorite show of all time. I immediately was like intrigued, and then I read it and I was like, whoa. If you don't know what this comic is about, it's about these 4 girls the night after Halloween in 1988, and as they're biking around delivering newspapers, they notice some strange things going on in their neighborhood. The next item is Cotton Candy, a book that was fluffy and sweet. For this one, I'm going with Autobiography by Christina Lauren, which, yes, I'm still currently reading, but I'm like almost done with it. I have very little left, and it's so cute and it's so sweet, and I'm really enjoying it. Now, this book follows this boy named Tanner. He has recently moved from San Francisco, California to this really small town in Utah, and that's forced him to go back into the closet because in California he was an open bisexual teen, but in Utah he has to stay closeted because he lives in a very religious town. He signs up for this semester-long class where at the end of the semester they have to write a full-length novel, and he isn't sure what to write about. As he's thinking about what he should write about, there's an aide that walks in and helps out the class throughout the whole semester, and Tanner ends up catching feelings for the aide, Sebastian. The third item is Sunglasses, a dark book. And for this one, I went with Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky. It already sounds dark from the title, but I kind of went into it because this is a satire novel, so I knew it was going to be somewhat dark, but I didn't expect it to be as dark as it was. It was one of my favorite books of 2016 back when I read it. It's safe to say that it still held up. The fourth item is Having a Picnic on a Rainy Day, a sad book. For this one, I'm going with A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness because this book is very, very sad. I mean, I knew it was sad when I went into it, but it was sad, y'all. It was sad. The fifth item is Sand, a book that irritated you. This one shouldn't come as any surprise to you guys if you've been on my channel at all within the past couple months, but that is By Your Side by Casey West. Now, I know what you're thinking. Now, this book sounded adorable. It's about these 2 kids that get trapped in a library. Okay, it sounds right up my alley. So I'm thinking that these kids are going to be in the library for the majority of the book because that's what the summary mostly focuses on. That's what everyone who's ever read this book focuses on. They're in the library for like 150 pages. This book is like almost 400 pages long. The book should have ended there, you know? But no. It continues. At this point, it turns into a gender-swapped retelling of If I Stay. The vibe it gave off is not the vibe you get when you read this book, and I guess that's what really irritated me the most about it. Question 6 is a summer blockbuster. Your current favorite book-to-movie adaptation. This should be no surprise to anyone. Love, Simon. This is probably one of the best book-to-movie adaptations I've ever seen, if not the best. It was literally the book brought to life. I've never seen anything like it, so it's gonna have to go to this one. The next item is Dropped Ice Cream, a book you anticipated, but it wasn't very good. I had to think very long and hard about this one because most of the anticipated books I read, I actually really like. I had to go with Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Everyone on BookTube hyped this book up, saying it was one of the best time travel stories they ever read. They loved everything about it. The characters were great. And I read this and I'm like, did we read the same book? Now, I had no issues with the characters. I thought they were fine. They weren't necessarily like my favorite cast of characters, but I didn't hate them. I just thought, you know, oh, they're cool, I guess. Literally for the first 200 pages of the book, they're on a boat doing nothing, sailing to someplace else. We don't know what place, but they're sailing to someplace else. And then literally on page 200, you find out the entire objective of the novel, and that just drove me crazy because it shouldn't take 200 pages to set up the plot of the book. It shouldn't take that long. We were on a boat doing nothing. We could have learned stuff then, but we didn't. Object 8 is Palm Tree, a tall book you loved. So this should come as no surprise to anyone. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I love this book so much. It was one of my favorite books of last year. And guys, y'all should see what came in the mail yesterday. It's legendary. Oh my gosh, they look so pretty together. I love them so much. As you can see, it's a tall book compared to your standard hardcover. It's tall. It's really tall. Object 9 is a bonfire, a book you want to burn. Now, I don't support book burnings. Even though I don't like books, I would never damage them. I would just kindly donate them to my local library. So I'm not actually going to burn this book. If I could figuratively burn a book, it would definitely have to go to Lord of the Flies by William Golding. The writing was already hard to read, and then the boys were just horrible people that sucked, and there were only 2 characters that I kinda liked in this. I would definitely, like, if I could burn it, I would, but this edition is too pretty. It's a paperback, as you can see, but it has these nice hardcover edges, and it also has those, like, kind of, like, rough edges. I think they're called deckled edges, but it has those, like, I don't know if you can see that, but it has, like, those rough type edges, and it's a nice edition. I wouldn't burn this edition. And lastly, Fireworks, a book that exploded onto the scene. Now, I already showed this book compared to another book in this video. So yeah, this shouldn't come as a surprise because you already saw it in here, but that is The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This book exploded onto BookTube like a year ago, and it had every right to. This book was truly amazing. If you haven't picked it up yet, I would highly recommend it. The movie, I believe, is coming out in like October, so that's pretty exciting, but it's a very powerful novel, and I would just highly recommend it. Alright, and that is it for this book tag. If you want to do this tag, do it! Feel free to leave a link down below and I'll watch it and I'll see what books you chose for the different categories and stuff, because I would love to see you guys do this tag because I think it's a really fun one. And if you want to do this tag, you can consider yourself tagged by me if you want to. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post videos every Thursday and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!